You have a concern about your car. What are you going to do? You're going to take it straight to the shop?
Well, yeah, but what if you're spending money on something that isn't really a problem? That's why we appreciate the free advice of someone who's been in the business for decades.
Yeah, Peter Fink is who we're talking about. He owns Certified Transmission, opened the business, what, 1979, Peter?
Yeah, unfortunately, a long time ago.
No. That's a good thing, Peter. That means
okay.
you've been around the block. You know what some of this stuff's about.
I definitely have been around the block. You know, drove a couple cars around the block to check them out. You know, so
that's good.
Well, so that's your expertise comes into play here because we've got some questions. And Beth is up first here. She asks, or she wrote this in, my 2011 Subaru Outback is closing in on 140,000 miles, mostly highway. I've been very lucky and have only needed new brakes, tires, and a new battery. Is having mostly highway miles on a car better than city traffic miles? Any parts I should be concerned about at this mileage level?
Well, you know, a lot in that question there. Okay, first in 2011
right.
with 140,000 miles, obviously somebody's really driving this thing a lot, okay? And definitely highway miles are easy on a car, okay? You turn the key, you're running down the road, everything's going, the engine really doesn't work very hard, even if you're driving 75 miles an hour, okay, and stuff with the speed limit. So yes, highway miles, you'll get a lot of miles out of something. Now with that, you do want to take some special care on it. Subarus are pretty good cars, and actually my son-in-law and his father, man, they got a fleet of Subarus and just think they go everywhere, do anything and stuff. They're good cars, okay, and stuff. They run quite a few miles, but there are a couple inherent problems on them. One thing you want to do is get the timing belt replaced. With 140,000 miles, even though they're highway miles, definitely overdue for a timing belt if you haven't had that. Second, Subarus are really known for bad leaking head gaskets, okay? A couple reasons for this. People don't change the antifreeze soon enough, and so the antifreeze gets real acidic or whatever, and with the aluminum heads and the cast iron block, they will leak. And for some reason, Subarus are really bad. They have changed it in the newer models. I think it's like 2012 or 13, so this is the older one. Get it checked. I'm not saying you need head gaskets, but change your antifreeze, have it checked to make sure it's not leaking. Other than that, belts and hoses, you're probably good for another 100,000 miles on that car.
Wow.
So.
That's what you love, the idea. Keep the car you've got. Don't look for a reason to get a new one just because you've got high miles.
Actually, most cars anymore with proper maintenance, like I've said, they'll go 200, 250,000 miles. We get bored with them, or here in the Midwest, they start rusting away on us, okay? I mean, that's really the #1 problem, okay? And
But you got some cars in your fleet, some trucks in your fleet that
my
have
God.
over a couple 100,000 miles, right?
Trucks, I mean, we probably don't have a truck with under 500,000 miles on them, okay, and stuff. I mean, you know, of course, they're highway miles. They get driven a lot. You know, if we had to change the oil every 3,000 miles, that'd be like every 10 days, okay? You know, so that doesn't work, okay?
That's awesome. So. Janice writes our next question, and she says, our 2002 Honda CR-V has the engine light come on intermittently. A mechanic recommended using higher grade fuel, but the light still comes on and off. Anything else we should look into?
Okay, anytime the check engine light comes on, that is an emissions control problem, okay? What that means is the engine is not running properly, okay? It's either running too rich or too lean, okay? And the check engine light will come on. It usually means there's a cylinder miss, okay, or one of the sensors is going bad, and then the fuel injection can't adjust the fuel mixture properly and makes the check engine light come on. Changing the grade of gasoline would not take care of that, okay, and stuff. Wishful thinking, okay. Sometimes a little higher grade gasoline with more detergents or a can of additive might clean some of the carbon on the valves, but that usually doesn't cause the check engine light to come on. You're going to probably have to get it to a shop and check it. If you haven't had a proper tune-up with spark plugs replaced, and of course, this day and age, spark plugs will run 75 or 100,000 miles, so probably need to start there, probably hasn't been done, and then we need to check some of the other sensors. Might have a bad oxygen sensor. For some reason, a lot of cars do go bad or they get lazy, okay, they don't work like they're supposed to. The oxygen sensor sees how much fuel is in the, actually how much oxygen is in the exhaust. It's just the opposite, okay? But for rich or lean and stuff like that, we see quite a few of them bad, and I'm not saying put one on. You really need to check it. Pay for that $59, $79 diagnosis, see why the check engine light. When they hook up the scanner, there's a history code. It'll see why it's in there, and it gives them a clue of what's gone wrong with it, okay? Doesn't tell them exactly this is what you got to replace, but there's a problem with that circuit.
Makes sense. I love this last question because it reminds me of a buddy in college who had this same problem. Kyra says, is there a way to DIY repair a sagging car ceiling? If not, who do I call? It's a 2012 Audi A3 wagon.
You know, it's kind of amazing on a 2012 that this will be doing it.
Yeah, well, I think about classic cars. Where
It happens usually on old cars when they're 10, 15, 20 years old or something. Actually, it happened to my old Oldsmobile wagon, okay, that was handed down from the wife to me to the daughter or whatever and stuff long
You're driving
time
down
ago.
the highway, pressing it over.
Well, we didn't quite do that, you know, but usually the glue starts going bad, okay, from the hot and the cold here in the Midwest, okay, and stuff, in a car that sits outside. Unfortunately, I don't know of anything you can really do on your own that looks decent. Okay, this is a 2012. Even if it has a lot of miles, one thing that shocked me was I got it fixed at an interior shop that does upholstery and stuff. I thought it'd be a lot of money. I thought it'd be like $500 or $1,000. So I kind of put it off, and I go, oh my gosh, it's just horrible, you know,
How much
and stuff.
was it?
It was like a couple $100. Okay. I didn't think it was very bad, okay, and stuff, you know, being a wagon, being much bigger and everything, I think it's well worth it. I would say, you know, I've seen people put thumbtacks in them and different things and try to glue them themselves, and I mean, it looks like horrible.
It looks like you did it.
You know, exactly, okay. I think you could probably call an interior shop. I think he'll shock you how cheap it might be to get it fixed right, okay, and stuff, so.
Online at certifiedtransmission.com. He's Peter Fink. Thank you, Peter.
Thanks, Peter.
Always fun.
Yeah,
We
you betcha. Have a
appreciate
good
it.
week.
You too.
And your